Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Kickout. My name is Howard Finkel.
My name is Skillet, the Heartbreak Kid.
My name is Dana Brooks.
And I am the Rain Man, Sean Kemp.
And we're here to give you another weekly dose. And you know what? This is 2 times this week, so this is going to be awesome. We're going to give you another wrestling podcast. We gave you our Royal Rumble predictions. We're going to find out exactly how good or bad those were very, very soon. But before we do that, we have got a new member of the squad.
Yes, we do. We have a new member of the Kickout family. And, you know, I said to Ace, when we were going to come back and do this podcast, we've got to recruit an army. And when you're recruiting an army, you look to your family. You look to your blood. You look to the Kliq. Yo, give a shout out to Mekz from Wrestlemaniac. Thank you for joining the family.
Hey.
Not a problem. Like I've been telling you, Skillet, you know, I started listening to Kickout way back in 2016. I was listening to other podcasts before, came across Skillet on other podcasts, then started listening to Kickout. You know, you guys then made the great additions with Flu and with Tay. So yeah, I'm glad to be here,
Wonderful.
man.
You're welcome to the family, brother. You're going to be a great addition. And I guess today's episode, we are talking about the events that took place this Sunday and I guess yesterday, because yesterday was Raw, so we can talk about Raw.
No, wait, before we get into that, like, we need to know more about Mekz. Like,
Yeah, we will.
we need quickly, you know, like, just give us a quick, because the listeners will be like, oh, they just got some guy on to talk about, like, we need to know who,
No, we will.
like, what are his credentials, like, how do we know,
You're right.
do you know what I mean, like,
Who am I podding with, damn it?
yeah, who am I podding with, like, who's on the screen right now? We need to know. We could have just got any random Joe to just get on the microphone. Do you know what I mean? So,
Go ahead, Mekz.
tell us a little bit about, like, you and your love affair with wrestling.
You know, we all started as a child, we got sucked into this thing called wrestling. And as we all did as well, probably around the same time, 2010 and stuff like that, we all fell out of love with it. We all stopped watching it, like, and then you come back to it as you do. And it's just something I kind of always promised myself from about 2017. I wanted to do this. I wanted to kind of get my foot into this and get my opinions heard as well, and just join this community, especially in the UK, where I feel like it's growing rapidly these days. And you know, like I said, I found other podcasts and things like that. And then earlier last year, I just got into it, and it's literally been crazy ever since, just kind of keeping up with everything. Like, I mean, I was keeping up with everything, but the documenting of it. And you know, when I had Skillet on my channel sometime last year, the one of the first things I asked him, in fact, was, where's Kickout podcast? Where is that? And then he told me, you know, you were just taking a little break at the moment and be back. And it's always been like, okay, we're waiting for you guys to come back, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm watching WWE, most things that they spit out, apart from maybe like 205 Live. I'm watching AEW as well, trying to get into Impact. I watch the stuff over in Japan. Yeah, I'm fully involved. This is my EastEnders. This is my Corey. Like, you know, this is my Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is all of that for me. So,
you know what? I've got a question to really break you, and this is something that I think that you should do, because at the moment, Neil Fluellen is not a massive fan of WWE.
Don't blame me.
Explain to Neil Flu why he should be watching wrestling right now. Right, is it that hard?
You guys you're asking me to be a liar. You're asking me to lie. you know what? I just think right now, I think you guys have said in recent weeks, SmackDown is the A show right now. Yeah. I know we had the unfortunate episode last week that Neil watched and pointed fingers about, but SmackDown definitely is something worth watching. The women's division alone for WWE is incredible across NXT, SmackDown, Raw. So that's another plus. And for me, it's just the grand stage of WWE, the production value. I used to find it very hard to watch the indies just because it's like, why are they wrestling in this like dingy looking basement kind of thing? Like, it wasn't the bright lights of WWE. And I think you can't miss, you know, a WrestleMania. It just looks spectacular. You see what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those ones, like, it may not be any of our favorite things or wrestling products on a week by week basis, but you know, it's just one of those things that you should always kind of tune in and check for. I hope I sold it to you, Flu.
Oh, without question. Oh, you said you stopped watching about 2010, like we all did for a period of time. Wouldn't you say now, though, in retrospect, 2010 was probably better than 2020, 2021?
In retrospect, definitely. I think it was just a lot of getting tired with Orton, Cena, Cena, main event in every pay-per-view under the sun. And yeah, it was just like there was like a lack of big stars and big names then. But yeah, you know, the show must go on, and we are where we are today.
Well, Mekz, I need to ask you a question. What was your earliest memories of wrestling? What broke you into becoming a wrestling fan?
A range of different things, like obviously The Rock. You couldn't go to school and not be trying to raise your eyebrow like The Rock, or, you know, shutting somebody up with, it doesn't matter, whatever, you know. So it was all of that kind of stuff. What really sold me on it was the night Hulk Hogan turned up on WCW. Well, not turned up on WCW, but turned up in that segment when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were in the middle of the ring, and he joined NWO. And that was it. It's like this guy that, you know, outside of wrestling, that was heralded as the main man in wrestling, has now turned to a bad guy. No longer the yellow and red, and it's all the black and all of that kind of stuff. And truth be told, even from then, I thought, that's pretty cool. Like, I never was one of these, oh no, Hulk, oh my God, like the whole world's gonna go down in flames. Like, I liked it from the jump. I liked it when everyone kind of joined in and all of that kind of stuff. I've been to, like, I've got pictures of me and my friends going to like school parties on like a Saturdays and stuff like that, all wearing just black t-shirts because we all thought we were NWO members. So yeah, that was it really for me.
There you go.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you mentioned NWO. I don't think you'll ever, I know Bullet Club is kind of the closest thing to NWO today, but I don't think you will ever kind of get that feeling again.
Yeah.
Impact.
What? No, what? Retribution, fam? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey, can you block Ace from this call? All right. Okay. Mekz, real pleasure of you joining us, joining part of the family. I think you're going to be a great addition. And I'm proud of what you're doing. Can you please tell people about your own channels and your own podcast, Wrestlemaniac, and where they can find you and follow you?
So my channel is Wrestlemaniac UK. I've trying my hardest. I've been doing for last year, committing to daily posting on like reviewing WWE, AEW, starting conversations between that and stuff between the community, the small community I'm building and finding within the London scene of wrestling fans. We've been having debates. We go down to studios and we have debates. So, you know, top 5 lists, best intercontinental champions of all time. That's one of the ones on my channel. We break down certain wrestlers' attributes into like their promo skills, their ability in the ring, their legacy, and we come up with like an overall star rating of how good this wrestler really was. You know, a lot of lists and stuff are available online, but they're just kind of fed to you and you don't know who's put together this list, whereas you can actually see the people having the debate, having the discussion on how good this wrestler was, or how good, you know, this particular title belt has been treated over the years. So
question. So when you mentioned your best intercontinental champions, when you graded that, do you grade it by the best wrestlers who had the intercontinental championship, or do you do what we did a couple of times, which is the best wrestlers who only had the intercontinental championship? For instance, Mr. Perfect is considered the best one, but is Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart a better intercontinental champion in your eyes?
So, you know, me personally, I host the conversation and I bring the other community members in to have it. They graded that particular one on, I think, most iconic in terms of feuds and what it did for the titles and stuff like that.
I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but there were so many people that atted me when you released that.
Who was on the list? Who was the top 5? Break it down quickly.
Before we get to that,
quickly, go on.
Let me just say,
a
lot of people messaging me saying, "Skillet, are you seeing this list?" And I was like, I'm going to watch it. I love.
Is it embarrassing?
A lot of people upset, but
bro,
these people are judging on what they've seen in their lifetime because of a certain era that they grew up on. That's what it is as well. That's part of the argument. But yes, Mekz, remind us what was the final list from the group.
So let me just say.
Can you mention this stuff in the episode as well? Shout out to people that was on the episode as well, please.
Yeah, I just hosted. Let me do the disclaimer.
Yeah, look at disclaimer. I got nothing to do with it. It weren't me.
I hosted.
You put them on the list.
I host it. So obviously I'm trying to make sure the conversation's moving and we get it done. Obviously I'm looking at the clock, how much time we got left in the studio.
Here we go. Go on.
When I was editing it, I thought this list is mad. So at the beginning, I think Shawn Michaels was first.
Number one.
No,
Shawn Michaels was first.
Brett was first, wasn't he?
No, Shawn Michaels was first. Brett was second.
So that's in regard. Shawn Michaels was number one, as in number one Intercontinental Champion of all time. Okay, keep going.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton,
what?
And then Warrior.
What?
That was the list.
That's wild.
You know what? And it's so mad.
You mentioned that we don't accept the ultimate wow.
It was so mad because even in the whole conversation, 40 minutes, Mr. Perfect wasn't even mentioned. He wasn't even remembered.
Blasphemy.
I was fuming, Mekz, with nobody was perfect. I was fuming.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
It's a fair list. But then again, maybe the Warrior.
No, the Warrior should not be in that list. No way.
No, it shouldn't. No. So you got the Shawns, and then on the list of because you could put, if it was just the people who only had that belt, then obviously Owen Hart, obviously Perfect, and obviously Ryback. He's having some fun at the moment, and he said he's gonna sue Mark Henry now for the horrible comments he's made. He's gonna sue him.
He's saying a lot of things, but what we will definitely do is have a Kickout podcast edition where we'll right the wrongs of the public.
We have to.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, man. I like that.
We have to, 100%. Right, listen, let's get to it, man. It's been a big week.
We haven't asked Mekz, what's your Mount Rushmore?
That's it. There you go.
Well done.
There you go.
You were saying we were missing. Let's go.
My Mount.
He looks nervous. I bet it's gonna be bad.
This changes all the time.
As long as it doesn't change to the Ultimate Warrior, then we
hell to the no. I mean, if I don't think too much about it and just go with what's on my head, I'll have to go Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and for now, Chris Jericho.
Okay, you know what? That's a good list.
That's a good list.
I respect that.
Decent list.
All right, let's talk about the Royal Rumble 2021.
That's right. It was a good weekend of wrestling, I believe.
A very good weekend of wrestling. We don't have to mention the location because the location's everywhere now. It's at the same place. The Thunderdome. Going into this match, we had the kickoff match with Charlotte and Asuka, and they faced against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Let's go to Tay first. Tay, your opinions on this tag team title match?
It was a good match. Should it have been on the kickoff? Could have been like an opening match. I thought it was pretty good. I like the stuff with, even though I hate the Lacey Evans and Ric Flair thing, that was quite fun to add to it. It gave it like an extra kind of pizzazz. But I mean, if it didn't have that in it, it would have just been like a pretty standard match. So it was all right. It wasn't anything great. But having those four on a kickoff, I was like, it's a bit sad.
So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler became this two-time tag team champions, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Flu, did you see this match? I'm guessing you did.
I did not see this one. Mekz.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty decent match. I think that is the first time Charlotte Flair has ever been on the kickoff show, like the pre-show.
That's a good idea. That's a good show. I don't think
it's a very good.
Yeah, I was thinking before, have I seen her on a pre-show before? And I don't think so. And it's a very odd place for the Raw Women's Champion. They are not respecting Asuka at all.
And also the fact that she, because obviously I watched they look back at it, didn't they, and stuff like that. It does seem to be like the women's championship is the side storyline on the pre-show. I mean, what?
It's crazy.
I don't think Charlotte would have been in a kickoff match if she wasn't actually in the Rumble, and she had an amazing outing in the Rumble. She looked very dominant. So
that's true.
It was good. I didn't mind the positioning, to be fair. I think the entire card was perfect in regards to where all the matches were. The only thing I probably would have swapped, actually, I might have swapped to men's and women's Rumble. I maybe would have ended with the women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Only because I didn't really love the way that their men's Rumble ended either. But decent match. I saw that Charlotte and Asuka weren't going to hold this title for very, very long. Let's keep it moving. I think, it was a decent opener.
Yeah, decent, kind of forgettable for me, but yes.
Yeah.
Next up, Peter Rosenberg defeated R-Truth. Our man, Peter Rosenberg from the Cheap Week podcast. I spoke to Stat Guy Greg about it. He was over the moon about seeing his best friend win the 24/7 title. Flu, did you see this?
I did see Rosenberg. I saw his awkward pin as well, which I loved, when he straight up mounted that man.
The pin is hilarious. Hilarious pin.
If that means, I think any other time we'd be flying to the States and trying to take the 24 title off Rosenberg, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. 100%.
Damn it.
All right, Mekz, we're going to talk about the first official match of the Royal Rumble card, which was the WWE Championship. WWE Championship, is that what Drew has, or the Universal? No, he has WWE.
Yeah, WWE.
WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre versus Bill Goldberg. Your thoughts on this heavyweight title match?
It was as good as a Goldberg match we're probably gonna get. Started, quickly before the bell had rung, and as the bell was ringing, Drew was already holding his ribs, and I thought, oh my God, are they setting this up for a Goldberg win when Drew's already kind of injured? Like a lot of people have referenced it, it's like a WWE 2K video game match where everyone's just doing their finishes. The main thing is that our boy Drew retained. Like, it would have been an absolute travesty if he dropped that belt to Goldberg. I would have set a bad kind of tone for the night if he won that. Probably would have been hard for anyone to kind of get behind the rest of the card. So they done the right thing. I like the little bit of respect that Goldberg showed in the end, despite him accusing Drew of showing no respect to legends and stuff. They could have used Drew better.
Go at him about it. Yeah, you've got no respect. Now you've got too much respect. Respect me. I thought you made a very good point on tone, though, because obviously we'll talk about it later, but they did exactly the same thing with the main event men's match and with Charlotte and with Goldberg. They kind of went, are we gonna do this? No, we're not. Are we gonna do it? And Randy Orton, obviously. So I thought that was a really good point with tone. Any match which I give a damn about. Do you know what I mean? I'm not necessarily a Goldberg guy. I like Drew McIntyre, but I was so nervous about Goldberg winning that I think I kind of enjoyed the match because I was like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. So, yeah, I agree with you. It kind of worked, yeah. And it was a passing of the torch thing, so all good. But now what's Goldberg? Is Goldberg just going to squash somebody at WrestleMania now, isn't he? Yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
Ain't he done? Can't he just go away now? I think it's finished.
No.
I got an interesting fact, right?
Predicting.
So, Drew McIntyre is the 9th person to have beaten Bill Goldberg. Goldberg has lost 11 times in his career, but he's lost 11 times in his career, but he's only lost to 9 people. I want to go around the room.
Question first.
Yeah.
Is that his WWE career or his entire career?
Entire career.
Wow.
So
9 people.
Wow.
He's lost to 9 people. He's lost 11 times, but to 9 people. So somebody has beat him 3 times.
I think I know who it is.
Right. So I'm going to go around the room. And we're going to go around and we're going to try and get this list together. So obviously, Drew McIntyre is the 9th person.
Yeah. Kevin Nash.
All right. So Ace, you say Kevin Nash. Okay, that's on the list. Let's go to Tay.
Did Roman beat him?
They haven't wrestled, have they?
No, it didn't happen. It never happened.
It never happened.
It was Spear versus Spear. It never happened.
Lesnar.
That's 2.
Great.
Blue.
Well, hang on. Lesnar's beating him. Obviously. and then Braun Strowman beat him, didn't he?
No.
Didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, Braun
He did beat
Strowman
him.
beat him at WrestleMania.
They face each other.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Strowman
At
took the belt off him
WrestleMania
at
last
Mania.
year.
Goldberg.
Yes.
Yep.
He was
Okay,
Universal Champion.
Okay, so I'm wrong. So that's 10 people then. So it's 10 people. You know what? You're right. I totally forgot about last year.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Skillet's Random Questions.
Yeah, so 10 people then. Yeah. So
Okay.
Strowman's right. Strowman's on the list. You're right.
I'm assuming that the person that beat him 3 times was Triple H.
No.
Oh, it's not? Okay, well,
Oh,
Triple
good
H is my
answer.
person anyway.
Triple H is in the list. Yes.
I know Bret Hart's got a win on him.
Bret Hart has beaten him 3 times. Bret
Way.
Hart has beaten him 3 times. So we got Nash, we got Bret, we got Strowman, we got Taker. We didn't say Taker.
Taker.
He says Taker. We got
Hogan? Is Hogan on the list?
Hogan's not on the list. No.
Ooh.
Wow, he did get his little return.
Hogan must be on the list. I'm sure he beat him in NWO days. He's not.
He did that with Warrior Ace.
Oh, no, not Angle.
Anyone else in Evolution?
No.
This is hard.
We
How
got-
many people left that we haven't mentioned?
Did Cena beat him?
We got 2 left.
I don't
Tasia
think-
said Cena.
He's taking him now.
No, they haven't faced.
It's got to be NWO days.
Hmm.
Is that? Am I right? Is it NWO?
It's WCW days, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be
WCW.
Is it Diamond Dallas Page?
No,
No.
Scott Hall,
no,
Randy Savage,
no,
This could take a while.
Sting.
no.
Wait, who beat him for the title again?
So I'm gonna
Nash, Kevin Nash.
We mentioned that in it.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm gonna say the list that you've said. You said
Yeah.
Nash. You've said Triple H.
Lex Luger.
You guys said Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Lesnar. You said Taker. You said Strowman. You said McIntyre. Now there's 2 more people you need.
Oh, this is hard. Booker T.
Yes.
Hey.
1 more.
Sting. Rey Mysterio. Chris Jericho.
I'm going to kill myself.
Chris Jericho beat him in real life. Had a fight in real life, but Jericho
Yeah.
won that one.
I bet it's gonna be some joke, man.
Gilbert.
No.
Who was it's got to be Ric Flair.
Huh?
Ric Flair.
I think you can give us the answer skills, can't you?
Yeah, like this is gonna take forever.
Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump.
No way.
Oh.
Really?
I actually calculated it wrong. It is 9. I just forgot Strowman and I put Brock Lesnar twice. So I meant to put Strowman, but I put Brock Lesnar twice. Sorry. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Oh wow. There you go. So you've thrown off the whole thing. So there you go. Opening match. Drew McIntyre beats Goldberg, which well done to WWE for doing the right thing, because we were so scared that Goldberg was going into WrestleMania as the champion. That would have been horrible. Who got that right from our predictions? I've said Miz was going to come out the champion.
Yeah, I agreed with you, Ace, and said Miz. I thought we said that Miz is going to cash in.
Do you think now Oh no, I was about to say, do you think it's going to be Morrison just getting squashed by Goldberg now at WrestleMania? But they're doing something with Mr. Bad Bunny. So we'll
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
WWE are so petty, you know that. They're so petty. I love it. They are just the pettiest. Snoop's gonna jump off the top roof. We're gonna get. He's a dog. Let's get the bunny. He can do it. Yeah, it's so petty. It's dumb. To be fair, his splash was better.
Yeah. But he actually wants to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I guess he's probably about half the age of Snoop Dogg as well.
Exactly.
He's half the age of Snoop Dogg, and he's probably has always been agile.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, I don't think has ever been agile.
Crazy. All right. What was the next match?
Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Now, I really enjoyed this match. Me and Tay and I were messing each other during this match, and we both was very pleased with this match. Weren't we, Tay?
Yeah. Carmella has improved so much, so much over the years. It was one of her better matches that I've seen for a while. I like the experience with Reginald. I don't know, I actually really like him now. I like him.
The sommelier. Yeah, I like him too.
It's that pesky smelly.
Yeah.
Pesky, smelly, eh? He's so pesky.
Yeah, I agree with Tay. Like, she's improved so much. Tay and I were talking about, remember when she first debuted in NXT as the valet to Enzo and Cass, and you just thought to yourself, like, she was kind of like, I remember Flu and I used to be like, oh, we love the freaking promos that Enzo and Cass would come up with, but then when Carmella would do, I'm Carmella, it was just so irritating to see her from then to what she is now, and you see that Enzo and Cass is, I don't know what they're doing with themselves now. It's an amazing progression, and yeah, big respect to Carmella. Oh, you know what? I would like to see her win the title soon, 100%.
I like the commentary. I like the fact that they do, make reference. They're like, oh, where are you getting these quotes from? Do you know what I mean? With what's the boyfriend called? Corey Graves.
Yeah.
I like the fact they reference that on, and that could always be something, a way of her getting the title if they did need to push her a little bit. I know it's not if he cheated for her or something like that, but
I was today years old when I found out that Carmella and Corey Graves are an item. Thank you very much for that, Flea. I had no idea. Should I have known that?
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea.
This is big news.
I didn't know. I fully didn't know. Thank you very much for that, Flea.
They've got a whole relationship podcast and everything.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on? Sorry. I had no idea.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And you know what I just remembered? When Tay predicted AJ Styles and AJ. What? All right. Yeah, so I guess we're going all around and say that everybody enjoyed this match.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't have been mad if Carmella won, to be fair.
Now, you know what?
I wouldn't have minded.
Sasha needs her. You know what? I'm going to say something about Sasha Luna, but she needs that. She needs that WrestleMania main event. She needs it.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about my predictions on what's going to happen in Sasha
Mania.
Banks. Yeah.
Ace, while I'm giving you little tidbits, this is, no one's ever heard this one. I'm about to tell you, Ace, some information that they have never mentioned once.
Let me hear it.
But during the match, you may have noticed her doing the Three Amigos, and that's because, between you and me, she's a fan of Eddie Guerrero. Top secret, they have not mentioned it once, but apparently, he was a fan of an old Latino wrestler called Eddie Guerrero.
Have you seen him wrestle before? What's Eddie Guerrero like? Was he any good?
I really don't know. I haven't
Was he all
heard
right?
I am finished. Myself, but... allow me, guys.
How am I supposed to deal with this guy for an hour? Wow.
Is it me, or did Sasha have her ring attire? Was that a bit of a tribute to Brody Lee?
It looked like it, I guess, with the white and stuff, but then
I know the New Day did it.
I'm not sure how much Louis Vuitton you can tie in with Brody Lee, but it was nice.
All right.
Skills. Do you remember the Brody Lee story from you and me in New Jersey?
Can you please tell the people?
Sure. Me and Skillet walked up to Brody Lee, and he said, "Go away," and walked past us. And that's the end of the story of me Brody Lee. He just gave us the look of, he had his headphones in. He just gave us this look of "get the hell away from me," and we did. We obliged.
Good. I'm glad you did that.
All right. So
been ugly.
The 4th ever Women's Royal Rumble took place. The first one was in 2018, with the winner being Asuka. Am I right? Yeah.
Correct.
2019 being Becky Lynch, and 2020 being Charlotte. So let's go with this one. Entry number 1 was Bayley.
Wait, we're doing it like this.
It's gonna take forever.
Nah, we ain't doing it like this.
I'm just saying, were you happy to see Bayley and a returning Naomi?
Okay, yeah.
Number 2. That's what
if we run down the list and do a quick comment on how they did, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool.
Bayley lasted really long. She did really well. She
did well.
Bayley was Bayley was the MVP of that match. She was really good in that.
I think Bayley was amazing in the Rumble. Yeah.
But no one still has not told me what the gimmick is. Hello, knock on my door. I don't get it. Is it? I know it's the Mr.
Mekz, can you explain this?
So I don't think it's a gimmick as such. It's just her like layup before she insults somebody. So it's like, I'm telling you something, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, ding dong, hello, before I kind of give you the smackdown of what I'm trying to say. I think her gimmick is just like a modern day Karen as they call it.
Ah.
She's just been an annoying woman, and yeah, that's basically what the gimmick is.
That
Not
would
into
be
it,
a
Flu?
good character, wouldn't it? If just every time she like grabbed the mic and she was like, "Can I talk to the manager, please?" Excuse me. It's not a problem, but can I just talk to the manager, please? Sorry, not you. Not you. Someone else. Thanks.
Flu, you should book wrestling, man.
For real.
I thought this great idea for the men's Royal Rumble. I think someone else mentioned on a podcast when Ric Flair's music played, there was that split second when you thought he was going to go in the ring. Wouldn't it be great if Ric Flair went to the ring and did that kind of pervy walk? So all the women were in the Royal Rumble, but Ric Flair was just walking around, wooing them and being all inappropriate and old. And they were like, "Oh, let's throw out."
No, that would be terrible.
Can you imagine that? Ric Flair's prancing around like the baby catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, just going up to them all like that. Hello.
Naomi looked beautiful.
She looked amazing. And she was great in the match as well. Really good in the match. She had some great spots in the match.
Bianca Belair was third place. Bianca Belair. Billie Kay came on shortly afterwards. Billie Kay actually was very entertaining. I actually enjoyed the little interaction she had with Jillian Hall, who became in 8th place. I feel like Jillian Hall should get re-signed and become Billie Kay's manager. I think that would be a good fit for the team. What do you guys think? Going around the room, let's start with Ace, who's shaking his head the most.
No, thank you. It's all right.
Okay, Mekz, what do you think?
Yeah, like I think it was good for the night, but ideally, I want to see Billie Kay back with Peyton Royce.
Okay. Oh yeah, I hear that. Flu?
I agree. I enjoyed Billie Kay. I feel like if I was a wrestler, I would be similar to Billie Kay. I think I'd be, you know what I mean?
You're spot on with that one.
I'd be like, I'm not going to go in the ring. I'm going to sit down and commentate.
Yeah, I think you would definitely be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my character.
Hey, what's Billie Kay?
My gimmick would be Australian woman. Neil, the Australian woman, Llewellyn. Nice.
Hey, what do you think of Billie Kay?
Yeah, she was entertaining. Yeah.
Then Shotzi Blackheart from NXT. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. All right, I'm gonna be real. This woman never really done it for me. The Shotzi Blackheart woman. I've never really been invested in her. I know she's in a tag team with Ember Moon. I just don't get it. But what do you guys think of her?
I don't watch the current product. So when a woman came out in a small tank, I thought, what the hell is going on here? Is that her gimmick? She's got a little tank.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a metalhead. That's her thing. I think she's a very NXT like her gimmick is very NXT. And I don't think whenever that day comes, she's gonna make it to main roster. I can't necessarily see this gimmick working per se. But yeah, I think Shotzi's good. She's got a lot of upside about her.
Ace, you don't know nothing about it, do you?
Nah, I was confused about why her from all of the NXT females on the roster on their roster.
She's kind of a mainstay on NXT, right? Right?
Yeah, but I mean, why her though?
Yeah.
I'm just asking, if you could pick any of the NXT women, would you have picked her?
No, I wouldn't have.
But then I think at the same time, the top NXT women, bar maybe the champion, were in the match. We saw Toni Storm and Ember Moon and the likes, Dakota Kai. I think Shotzi Blackheart, for them, they think, she's probably very cool and she looks the part. And this is what I mean for casuals or fans that are just watching the main roster. When you see someone like that come up and you're not excited by her, that's what I'm thinking. When she eventually makes it to the main roster, she may be doomed, especially with their creative. But yeah, she's very NXT. I will give you that.
I don't really understand the tank thing either.
Yeah,
she comes to the ring in a tank, in a little play tank.
You're all too young to have watched Hello Hello, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
No, I remember.
Do you remember one of the Gestapo had a little tank? Do you remember that? He used to talk. Maybe you'd like to come with me in my little tank. Do you remember that? You
know what, Ace? I think it's kind of like a reference to. Do you remember that comic Tank Girl? Remember that?
I hear you, but it's just it's not working for me. I'm not really a fan of it.
Is it steampunk? Is it another thing I don't really understand? Is it a steampunk thing? I'm old. I don't understand things. Is it that?
I think it was a bit before steampunk when she started doing that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler was the next entry. She dominated for a bit. Then Toni Storm, Julian Hall returns. Ruby Riott looked great. She looked great. Ruby Riott. Victoria has made a comeback, which this is a women's wrestler that I've been asking to make a comeback since maybe 2015. Freaking bona fide Hall of Famer, a legend in the business. It was so good to see Victoria, but it's sad to see Victoria now compared to when I was asked her to come back, because when I was asked her to come back, she was very still active. You can see now she's not as active. She seemed a bit rusty in the ring. She tried to do that famous, that thing she does, Mekz, where she flips over with the leg drop. Yeah. The ropes. She tried to do that. That didn't really pay off as well. It's a shame because she had one of the best finishes I've ever seen with the Black Widow, that finishing move. But it was nice to see Victoria. I just don't want to see her again. No, I'm joking. But put her in the Hall of Fame. She needs to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, 100%. Peyton Royce. It's weird seeing Peyton Royce without Billy Kay, man. It's not working for me.
Yeah,
Santana.
Also, if you're going to split them up, and Peyton Royce's character is, and I was thinking this, how many of the females' characters is I'm a beautiful woman? You've got Carmella, and you've got I can't think of anything else. Alana. There's, so many of the, back in the day, you had the model, you had Shawn Michaels, exactly. There was like 3 or 4. I'm a good-looking boy. A lot of the female roster, their character is I'm hot, and I just feel if you're going to break up them, it's got to be more than I'm an attractive female and I'm going to show you my bottom a little bit. It has to be more of a gimmick than that for me. Tay, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think they're doing too well separately. They were much better as a tag team. Like Billy Kay is she's comedic, so that's quite cool. But Peyton Royce is kind of she's a great wrestler, but gimmick wise, she's kind of getting lost in the fray. And if she doesn't sort something out soon, she's just gonna go to Dana Brooke level.
So next up was Santana Garrett. Now, Mekz, you're the one that's been watching NXT quite consistently. I know Santana Garrett from the independent scene. Is she in NXT, or was this a random call-up from the independent scene?
She is in NXT, but it's still a very weird pick because she's not even a mainstay in NXT. We don't see her weekly. She hasn't been involved in any feuds. She's basically used on NXT as an enhancement talent. So her being in the Royal Rumble, a lot of people, I can imagine, would have been like, who? I was quite excited because I thought, because sometimes they used to do this back in the day in Royal Rumbles where they would just pick out people who are either legends who've never ever wrestled in WWE before, or they will get stars who are in the independent scene or up and coming, and they will put them in the Rumble, and you were like, oh. So they did that with the with the AAA guys back in '97. I remember the Rock and Roll Express made an appearance one time, and I'm like, Rock and Roll Express never worked for WWE. I was like, what? As a kid, I was like, what is going on? So I thought that was kind of like a throwback to that. But then I'm reading it here on Wikipedia, and it says NXT by her name. And I'm like, is she in NXT? Okay, I didn't know that. So, she's been there for a couple years now, in fact, I think. So, it's just a weird pick to put in the Royal Rumble. But the Women's Rumble, they're always really, deep diving into NXT, maybe to help fill it because of maybe there's not so many women on the main roster.
Did they say she was related to someone famous?
No, well, her father was an independent wrestler in the Louisiana territory back in the day.
Thank you.
Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley. It was good to see the Nightmare Rhea Ripley. Liv, I don't know what to say about Liv. I love Liv, but whatever. The Nightmare showed up. I think we all guessed this. I think Tay guessed this. I think Flu guessed this. I can't remember. No, I think it was Tay. I think Tay's the one that called it that Rhea Ripley was going to be back again in this Royal Rumble. Oh no, and you did Flu because I think Flu called her. No, you aced it. You called her. What did you call her?
I said she'd be in. I'll call her the
dog woman.
The big dog woman. I said she'd be I said she'd be in the final 4 as well. I did say that.
You did say that. Charlotte Flair showed up, obviously dominating the Rumble. Dana Brooke, Tori Wilson comes back again, another Hall of Famer coming back. Lacey Evans, Mickie James, Nikki Cross, Alicia Fox.
Hey,
Alicia Fox. She came a mini 24/7 champion when R-Truth randomly showed up. R-Truth was giving me jokes. I'm going to be real though. And they need to stop doing this when they have men show up in these matches. Like I was saying to Ace, I said to Ace, I am taking off my laptop. Or I think I said it to Tay. I'm taking off my laptop. Or I'm going to bed if I see Santino Marella show up in this Rumble. And instead of Santino Marella, they had R-Truth. And I love R-Truth, so it wasn't so bad. But it is a bit insulting. I'm going to be real now. I think it's insulting to the women that.
No, but he wasn't actually in the match, so I don't think it's that bad.
But would you have, apart from the women that we knew that was going to show up at these Rumbles, apart from Karma that made a surprise, and I don't mind that stuff, but would you have women randomly showing up in the Men's Royal Rumble, flaunting around, making a little comedy segment? Like, you wouldn't do that. So
no, I think you're being sensitive, because women have done that in Men's Royal Rumbles before. Remember the Glamazon kissed the great Carly,
but she was in the Rumble.
I know, but like, and that's my point. R-Truth wasn't actually in the match. They had a little break for a little piece of comedy, and then they kept the match going.
I hear what you're saying, but we've had Rumbles where we've never had any of that at all. This is 4 Women's Royal Rumbles in a row.
I don't think it's that bad. If
I see this happen again next year, I'm getting better.
I don't think it's that bad.
Is it bad?
You know what? I think it was. I see your argument, Skillet, but I think because it was on Alicia Fox, who is a bit of a clown herself.
Yeah, true.
And it didn't hurt one of the more serious contenders. Like, they didn't come in and try run joke with Charlotte or someone like that. So I think that's where they kind of got away with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair enough. Mandy Rose came in next, then Dakota Kai, Carmella.
Is it me or Mandy Rose seems to be doing, to give props where it's due, she seems to be someone who's kind of knuckling down and trying to learn the craft a bit more, like Trish.
Yeah, man. She hit some good moves. Yeah, she hit some good moves on that in that. And
she's not doing the I'm Beautiful character. Her character is currently wrestler, which is better than beautiful. What does that mean? For me, she cut the air and she looks like she's taking it seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, no, she dropped some good moves. Dakota Kai, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Alexa Bliss, who was eliminated like in like a minute or so.
That was wicked though.
Yeah. I was
that was so good. That was so good.
It was. I did like the fact they were almost like, no, none of. Again, they were doing that bait and switch with us all night. They were like, "Are we gonna mess with you? No, we're not. We're just gonna chuck her out."
Yeah, Rhea Ripley eliminated her, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then it was Ember Moon, Nia Jax, Natalya. Now, what was the final 4? Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and who?
I think it was Natalya.
Yeah, it was Natalya. Yeah, it was Natalya.
Right, so Natalya showed up for number 30. She was actually doing quite well. She was kicking some ass. Then she gets eliminated. Then it was Charlotte. Charlotte was laughing when she got eliminated. I hated that. Why she laugh?
You know what I think they were trying to tell? So this time last year when Charlotte won the Rumble, obviously she went to NXT to challenge Rhea Ripley. And that's when they had the infamous Bianca Belair saying to Charlotte, "What are you doing here? You don't even go here," sort of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously this was kind of a callback to that, I think, where Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair teamed up again to get Charlotte Flair out of it. So that's why I think when she was laughing when she was kicked out, I was like, okay, you guys got the better of me, sort of thing. Like,
oh, okay, thank you, Mekz. That explains it. Because I just thought Charlotte was laughing to take the piss out of these women. I'm like, what's she doing, man? Okay, all right. And
did you notice when Tony Storm came out? The commentator went, "It's Tony Todd." The Candyman.
What?
Yeah. I go back. I could, unless I'd been drinking at this stage, so maybe I. I swear, when a Tony Storm comes out, he goes, "Oh my God, it's Tony Todd."
Hey,
that's hilarious.
If we could find that, I'm going to post that on Instagram. Have a look. But the back and forth between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley,
amazing.
Tay, as a women's wrestler all your life, Tay, and as a beautiful woman yourself, seeing these two, the future of the WWE business, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, go back and forth. It was tense. It was nervous. I know you rooted for Bianca. You actually called Bianca Belair to win this. None of us did. You did. Your thoughts of this last two going at it? Were you worried for Bianca's hopes?
I wasn't worried, but I really enjoyed. Like, I just wanted to see that match. I wanted to see that match alone. Like, I wanted it to go on longer. I was like, this is really good. Yeah, Rhea Ripley, because she's, massive powerhouse. Then you've got Bianca Belair doing her athletic stuff. Like, they worked so well together. Yeah, I was so happy when obviously Bianca Belair won. Like, had a little tear in my eye. Like, it was beautiful. It was a great ending. I think it was the right last two people.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree. All right, let's get on to the main event.
But wait, can we quickly talk about the Bianca Belair Naomi spot, please?
Go ahead, please remind me.
Can I just say, during the match when watching it, I was like, yo, this is fun. And when I watched it back, I was like, this is stupid. Like, during the match, when I was watching, I was like, oh, that's fun. They did a little thing where they worked together. It was quite cool. Then I watched it back and I was like, this is really dumb. That's all I want to say about that.
So they were both hanging. Well, Naomi was out of the ring completely, but her 2 feet went on the ground. She was like on her back. Then Bianca Belair was hanging out the ring. She used Bianca Belair's extension, her hair, to kind of bring herself closer to the ring, flipped backwards, hooked her legs on the ring. Her and Bianca Belair were trying to fight and pull themselves down. And then all of a sudden they just clocked like, you know, I don't know, we're sisters. Let's do this together. They held hands and like swung each other back into the ring. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it was
that
cool.
was terrible.
It wasn't good. It wasn't great, but there you go.
Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, last man standing match. Let's go with Mekz. Mekz, your thoughts on this match, please.
I think like the minute you see Kevin Owens in this kind of match, I feel like you knew you're gonna just get a good match because he's just one of these people that always put himself on the line for whatever he's doing. Like him, Moxley or Dean Ambrose, they, you know, this is their gimmick match generals, in my opinion. This was a really good match. The Swanton bomb that we saw off the forklift was crazy. Even the spot before that with the golf cart when Roman Reigns just came and knocked him down, made mincemeat of him. That was really good. I think the one thing that took away from it from myself was the finish. Obviously, it looked like Roman Reigns was accidentally or locked to that thing for too long.
Heyman couldn't get it out, could he? Heyman couldn't
get it out. I don't know what the issue was. It was really good. You know, the referee was on a 9 count. Roman Reigns threw the referee into part of the set.
Can I say, I love that.
That was brilliant.
Absolutely love it.
It was brilliant.
If that whole thing was improvised, if Reigns had to do it, I don't think he did. I think that was planned. But because you said it, because I got a message, because I'm gonna lie to you, I fell asleep at this point, right? After this match, I passed out. But I got a message early in the morning. I ignored all my messages, and then when I look after I watched the Royal Rumble, I look back and I see a message like 2:30 in the morning, and my boy Jermaine was like, "That's some bullshit," and I was thinking, "What's he talking about?" But he was actually talking about the Reigns, how long it took for Reigns to get out. Yeah, he was like, "No, man, Owens won the title." I was like,
Owens won the title.
I was like, Jermaine, you know this is not real.
Paul Heyman messed up getting the handcuffs off.
But if I don't think it was, but if Reigns improvised and threw the referee,
so the referee into the set thing was one thing. Then obviously another referee came.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
At that point, I think he had low blowed Kevin Owens. That referee was counting to 5, and then all of a sudden stopped because he realized I can keep counting, and then this guy's still going to be locked to the thing. So Kevin Owens would have to become champion. So the fact that he stopped was the botch, and that's what let it down for me.
Right,
and
right.
But it was a good match.
It was a great match before that. Before that day, it was a great match. Tay, you happy that your boy still champ?
Always happy.
All right.
I like that no one else got involved.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like there was no Jimmy or Jay or whichever Uso's alive at the moment. It was good. I liked it. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a really good match.
All right.
Apparently, Jay's injured. That's why he wasn't even in the Rumble match.
Oh wow.
Okay. Well, there were some strange decisions on who was in this match, and we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna dissect this match with you guys. The 2021 Royal Rumble match kicked off with Hall of Famer Edge and Randy Orton renewing their beef from last year and years previously, whatever, the rivalry. They are the first two to enter the Royal Rumble, followed by Sami Zayn. Mustafa Ali showed up, but he didn't do much. I thought he would have a bit more of a...
I like the stuff with him and Orton when he was like, hit him.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
What is it?
I actually love that. And Orton was looking at Mustafa like...
I like your fury. No, I like your fury. I like your fury. I like your fury. I was like, go. Wait a minute. Randy Orton's burns have gone. Explain.
Yeah. Overnight.
And I'm not going to say he looks better for it. I thought his skin looked amazing. He looked really good. Someone to burn my face so I look like Randy Orton. Anyway.
Jeff Hardy showed up, Dolph Ziggler, Nakamura, and we had our first surprise return from I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Carlito, Caribbean Cool, has showed up, and it's 2006 all over again. But it's so good to see. He looked an amazing.
He looks
shape.
amazing. He looks so good.
Incredible. Like he got a new contract. Incredible. Like he's obviously signed to WWE. He's back. He's back full time. And I'm happy to see Carlito, man. He's been away from WWE for about 11 years.
You know, one question, why don't these guys, when they get signed to WWE originally, turn up like this? And then maybe they won't be in the mid-card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Why is it always on return?
It was a strange one with Carlito because Carlito, when he first debuted, obviously he won the US title of John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
They were pushing him hard. He won the IC title, same way. I guess he debuted on SmackDown, winning the US title. Then when he made his Raw debut, he won the IC title. I think he beat Shelton Benjamin for the IC title. And they were looking to push him really hard. They had a
tag belt as well with Chris Masters.
They had a tag team titles with Chris Masters. I remember in that WrestleMania 22, the crowd was crazy for Carlito. There were so many Carlito chants. He had that segment with Piper and Austin. He was like, it looked like things were going really well, and I just think he fell out. I think he fell out with management.
I think it's also apparent. I thought it was one of those things where because his character is relaxed, like Rob Van Dam, I think Vince gets a bit bored if your character. He wants to see passion and stuff like that. So when your character is the relaxed guy,
that was him in general. That's how he is in general.
That's exactly my point. Yeah, he's one of those people that's been punished for his character.
Do you remember there was this really weird promo when Ric Flair was mentoring Carlito at one point, and there was this really weird promo where Ric Flair was like getting into him, like cutting into Carlito, saying how his work ethic's not this. It's like really like passion. Like, come on, we're gonna go out there, and I was like, this is really uncomfortable. And then Carlito left after that. And I remember
Carlito memories I love. I love one when he took on Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And I think for the first time ever, Ric Flair actually hit that corner bit.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Against Carlito. And then afterwards he walks past him, didn't he? And he's just downed in Viagra. I enjoyed that with Ric Flair. And Carlito, I think it was an Extreme Rules or something, but it was Shelton Benjamin, Carlito, and John Morrison in a three-way. And it's absolutely brilliant.
And I remember when the Colones, Carlito and Primo, was inducting their father, Carlos Colon, into the Hall of Fame, and Carlito did a little jab at WWE. Yeah,
cut a hell of a promo.
Yeah. He cut a little promo on WWE. So there was some bad blood there. There was some bad blood. But at the end of the day, Vince McMahon has a great relationship with his father. They've been business partners and friends for years. So it was probably only a matter of time Carlito will come back. But yeah, I'm glad to see him back.
Hopefully he does as well as MVP and Edge.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
Shelton now, it's other than is John Morrison doing well? He's on TV every week, or is he doing badly because he loses every week, or is it? How do you?
I think Morrison, you have to accept Morrison as Mrs. Virgil now.
But that's what I mean.
Sad, isn't it?
So that's what I mean, though, guys. Is going back slightly after missing all those years, being on television every week and getting a big old fat paycheck, is that good enough? Or should it be like you need to go back and win titles? Is he going to be perfectly happy at the moment?
You have to bring something to the table. I feel like MVP came back and probably went straight up to management. It's like, you know what? I've got this idea. I want to do the Hurt Business. I'm sure that was an MVP idea. I'm definitely 100% sure that's an MVP idea. So I feel like if you come back with a great idea, then they will probably do something for you. But if you're just coming back and they're like, oh yeah, we don't see you like we used to see you, why don't you just help the Miz out? That's our style.
I feel like Carlito's going to fall into the Shelton Morrison camp, though, where I don't think they're going to have much.
I think you're right.
From what I've read today, Carlito's going to be trialed as a producer.
Oh, wicked!
So we'll see how that goes.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Brilliant.
Xavier Woods, he was quite fun in his Royal Rumble. Mekz, I'm not really down with the kids, right? So I don't know if you are either, but I think you're a bit more internet savvy than I am.
Okay.
There's this thing called.
Yeah.
What is that? Because
it's a sound from TikTok.
That's right. But that's what Xavier Woods was doing every time he eliminated somebody. You throw people off the top rope.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Biggie showed up. Morrison, Ricochet actually had a little good showing. Elias.
I watched this on another, so I'm not coming up with this myself. I watched this on another wrestling channel, but Ricochet lost a match 2 weeks ago to AJ Styles, saying that he couldn't be in the Royal Rumble, but he lost, but he was in the Royal Rumble anyway.
Hello, Elias. And now, I'm going to say this now, probably my favorite Royal Rumble performance of the of the main event of this match, not the women's match, of the men's match, Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest was amazing.
Very good. He was very good. He was
amazing. I'm glad to see him now finally in the main roster.
What's his character?
He's just a Damien and he's a priest.
So on NXT, he was like a bit of like a party boy. So always had like women around him, also celebrate wins by going off with women into nightclubs and jacuzzis and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a bit like party boy mixed with vampire, if I'm being completely honest. But it's something like that.
You know what's funny though? Mekz, can you name me? Do you think you can name me Damian Priest's 2 main influences in wrestling?
Razor Ramon, definitely.
Yeah, and who's the other one?
I wouldn't be able to say. I don't know.
You said vampire.
Gangrel.
Vampiro.
Oh, Vampiro.
Oh, Vampiro.
Remember Vampiro?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his 2 main influences. He wrestles a lot like Vampiro, and he's got a bit of a swagger like Scott.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. The Miz, obviously, he was there. Riddle.
He was there.
Okay, now
Riddle had a good showing.
Riddle had a very good showing, but the main star, till this day, the main star from the last 10 years, I'm gonna say, Daniel Bryan. Like, what are they doing with Daniel Bryan, man? Like, I'm seeing pops from freaking screens.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing people on the screens doing the yes chant. Like,
they're nuts.
He's still the biggest thing in that whole main roster.
Yeah.
And they don't do nothing with this man.
I think they're doing what they did with Michaels on his comeback, though. I think they're just like, he'll beat all the mid-carders and then he'll lose that important title match. I think that's where Daniel Bryan is happy to be right now, because you can't top WrestleMania 30, really, can you?
Or 30, yeah, right. Yeah, 30, yeah. 30 was his big one, that's true. Kane.
What the hell is a mayor?
But you know what? I did love the Hell No reunion. I don't know why. I did pop that.
But if you were in a town right now, Skillet,
I know,
and you weren't allowed out, and there's COVID, and there's people dying, and your mayor put on some red pants, traveled halfway across America, do you know what I mean? You'd be livid, wouldn't you? You'd be
terrible role model. Terrible role model.
Oh, he's wrestling. What did you say? Yeah. Where's Glenn? Where's Glenn? He's wrestling. Where's Glenn wrestling? There's people dying. Glenn.
He's a terrible role model.
Yeah. The thing is, you're so right. You're just 100% right.
Everything you say is facts.
It's
you
facts.
know, I think what they brought him in for, wrestling wise, it was to give Damian Priest the rub that he did, because obviously Kane is the kind of premier Royal Rumble performer. So
18 Rumbles or something like that, something crazy like that.
He's never won one, and he's never won a damn one. What is this?
Well, he's got the elimination record.
Yeah,
I think
that's something.
Lesnar beat his elimination record.
No, it's tied. It's tied with Lesnar.
It's tied. Okay. All right, King Corbin. All right, you know what? Another great showing, but he didn't last long. This man lasted like maybe a minute or two. Otis. Listen, Otis showed up, and this is the best I've ever seen Otis. He was throwing man around like Taz. It reminded me of ECW Taz. I was like, what? He's got these suplexes? and then a minute later, he's out. I'm like, what? That was the first time I was actually really, really sold on Otis. I was like, he's gone. Oh, yeah. Dominic Mysterio shows up. Yay.
What for?
He eliminates Corbin. Lashley shows up, and Lashley and Big E have a good showing.
Yeah.
That made me think.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
I want to see that.
I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that.
They did the Triple H Austin thing with Hurricane later, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they both eliminated Hurricane. Hurricane showed up. Christian shows up too.
Wait a minute! Don't just go over it like that. This was the moment. This made the pay-per-view for me.
Really?
I'm not even joking.
This is your favorite moment?
I'm not even joking. I may have got a little bit. When Edge was on the ground, kind of, and he looked up and he saw him and he smiled. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Neil Floyell and Mr. Hates Wrestling right now. Completely, as I'd say, I was a couple of wines down, but I completely got the feel. I loved this bit. Genuinely loved it.
Yeah, no, it was a good moment. I just felt like when Christian showed up, it officially marked this match as 2006. Let's go through the list, right?
Yeah, you probably know Christian.
I After Christian showed up, I thought, oh, Finley's gonna show up now. It was like, what? Like, so who was there? It was Miz, obviously Miz part of the roster anyway. Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Carlito,
Bobby Lashley,
Christian,
Edge, Randy Orton.
It was just like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
It was 2006 for me. But yes, it was nice to see Christian. AJ Styles shows up with Almost, Almost, OMOS, I think. And I felt they took the piss out of AJ Styles. They disrespected AJ Styles with this one. Like, he can't eliminate people by himself.
Can I ask a question?
Every person AJ Styles eliminated was Almost. What's going on? Mekz, what's your question, brother?
How do we feel about Almost eliminating Big E, who would have been one of the favorites to win this, from not even being in the ring? Almost now has a record of 2 eliminations in a Royal Rumble he was never part of. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's happened before, though, hasn't it? People have been eliminated by people who won in the Rumble, haven't they? It's happened before, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have less problem with that than I do with the Naomi lying on her back.
The what?
You didn't like Naomi lying on her back with her feet in the air?
Oh, wait. So, I didn't mean that. No. Ashley. Glenn? Where's Glenn?
Rey Mysterio shows up, gets eliminated by Almost. Sheamus shows up.
Wait a minute, Skillet. Sorry. What was Rey Mysterio's entrance? Just one big selling of me a beer or something? Do you know what I mean?
It was terrible.
I officially am giving up on Rey. If his entrance is selling me a beer, we care that little about Rey Mysterio Jr. that his entrance is now drink this beer, you idiot. That's it.
I forgot to mention Miz and Morrison was both eliminated by Punishment Martinez and Bad Bunny, who also performed early on the night, performing his hit single smash Booker T, where you had Booker T in the middle of the center stage as he performs around him. Have you ever seen the video? Yeah, that's it. Mekz is doing the impression. If you ever seen the Bad Bunny video with Booker T, he had a classic one with Ric Flair.
It was him.
That's him. So he's living out my dreams. He's living out my dreams. I've always wanted to have Ric Flair in my music videos.
I'll tell you this, Skillet, you're a better rapper than him.
Thank you. Well, I don't know what he's saying. Bad Bunny could be a better rapper. I don't know what he's saying. He's Spanish, so.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it.
He's got a new tune called Shameless coming out.
I was debating doing an impression, but thought against it.
Let's not do that.
Yeah,
I thought my one would have been a bit more, it would have been inappropriate, and I may have been cancelled. So, yeah.
I could get away with it. I'm Trinidad.
I really don't think I would.
Port of Spain, Trinidad. Anyway, Sheamus showed up, Cesaro, so the bar had a little reunion. That was nice to see. The bar had
That was good.
Seth Rollins. Now,
Yeah,
Seth Rollins, everybody predicted that he'll be part of this Royal Rumble match. Some of us predicted he would win it. He shows up with his grand entrance. We're like, yes, Seth is back. And he got eliminated by Edge.
It was interesting to see him cross paths with Matt Riddle. I don't know. I guess you guys know the beef between him and Matt Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't actually.
So I think Matt Riddle and his missus have said stuff about Becky Lynch in the past, basically, in the short version. That's what
she was fat, didn't she? They said she was out of shape.
Yeah, so this was part of the reason why in the Survivor Series match, Seth kind of just sacrificed himself.
That makes
because he
sense.
didn't want to. He said, I'm never wrestling a match with Riddle. Like, I'm not doing it. So that's why he sacrificed himself, took his paternity leave. He came back, but obviously in the Rumble, they've crossed paths. So I don't know if they've squashed it or whatever, but good to see at least.
Wow.
But it's looking like, guys, what do you all think that it looks like it's Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins for WrestleMania? What do people think about that?
That'd be amazing. I would love
I love that.
As in against each other?
It looks like it, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And Braun Strowman was the last entry.
He looks wicked.
He looks amazing.
What?
Incredible.
He looks so good.
He was just walking out, he just like, raw. I was like, oh my God. I started sweating a little bit. I was like, Braun.
He looked incredible.
He looked amazing.
He's somebody that really, when they told him, hey, you know what, go back and lose some weight.
Yeah.
Like, he took that shit seriously.
Took it serious, like shredded, like cut up. Yeah, he looked really good.
Man. I'm proud of him, man. He looks great. And what was the final four? Can somebody remind me?
The final four: Edge,
Christian,
Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman
Braun.
and Bobby Lashley were the last 5, weren't they? And then
Nothing. Bobby
got rid of Lashley and Christian.
Yeah.
Did Lashley go earlier than that?
Lashley went earlier, I think. So it was definitely Christian
and Braun Strowman,
Rollins, and Edge.
Get Lashley out. That's right. Yeah.
And then Randy Orton was waiting in the wings somewhere.
Yeah.
What was the point of
Randy
Orton's knee thing? It just, I don't know.
I'm sorry again, and I know I missed a negative, but I thought, oh God, they're going to do, because I looked at, again, they did the bait and switch thing, so I was like, they're going to just have Randy Orton turning up at the end and win it.
Yeah.
So again, for them to, so with the Christian moment, then the ending, which I was happy with, plus the plus the da. I actually loved the ending of this match. It was all a bit rushed, but I enjoyed this bit. Yeah.
Okay, but are we happy with Edge being the winner of the Royal Rumble?
No, I'm not.
I just don't think it was so unnecessary for him to win. I know, okay, he win the Royal Rumble, but he doesn't need that to go to WrestleMania. He really doesn't.
100% not. I think we've got a stacked roster with new talent. You can build like what they did with Bianca Belair. Like they have given it to somebody new. They're giving the ball to someone new. They say, look, we trust you. Like you've got a stacked roster of men, new men that you could give the ball to. I think Edge was a mistake.
But who can headline WrestleMania? Because they're talking about Edge Roman.
Yeah.
That's WrestleMania main event.
So the thing is, right? Edge retired April 3rd, 2010 or 11?
Yeah.
2010, I think. 11.
And WrestleMania this year is April 3rd, 2021. So it comes full circle for Randy.
So he's going to win.
Edge.
Yeah.
He's probably going to win. I understand it. It seems to me that Royal Rumble is no longer the pay-per-view that needs to launch the current talent. I think Money in the Bank is more important for current talent wrestlers than Royal Rumble.
But they're fluffing that recently as well.
Yeah, but most of the time with Money in the Bank, if you have it, you're gonna win the title.
Can I make a suggestion?
Royal Rumble, if you look at the certain winners in the recent years, some of the winners hasn't necessarily gone on to win the title. Like Nakamura won the belt and won the Royal Rumble. He didn't win the belt. It happened again with.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I mean, though.
I know. I think whatever. I think Edge is putting over either Roman or Drew, but probably I think Edge is going to put over. I don't think he's winning the title.
Don't.
I think you're right. I actually think that makes sense. I think Edge.
He's going to put over the next person,
and he'll make sure it's Reigns.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think Edge would have got an amazing pop if that was in front of a crowd?
Yes.
For winning it. Really?
Because it's not Randy Orton.
Okay.
Like Flu said, we were all kind of forced to believe maybe right at the end, Randy's just gonna come back and win it. So it's that little bit of a spin that, it's not who we all thought, maybe not who you wanted, but it's better than that guy.
Right.
Would he
have got a bigger reaction than Daniel Bryan winning it?
No.
I think that's why we got rid of Daniel earlier and they left us with Seth and Randy, which the crowd would have shit on both of them.
Well, you have to remember, Ace, that reaction Edge got last year, it's like they see that as one of the best reactions that anyone got at a Royal Rumble, right? So
yeah, but like Batista got a pop and then he won it and they booed him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they sometimes throw I get the nostalgia is amazing. Like, I agree it. Like, it's an amazing story. Edge is back. But I genuinely feel like WWE fans would have preferred to see someone else win this.
No, but that's different.
In my opinion.
Because Batista got booed because he won it over Daniel Bryan. So they were happy to see Batista, but they didn't want him to win the Royal Rumble. They thought Batista would be back just to be in another match of Mania. And then they realized, oh my God.
The same with Edge though. Like Edge got a pop because he's back.
Yeah.
But did we want to see him win the Rumble? Not necessarily.
Not me anyway. I didn't.
Nah, I didn't want to see him win, if I'm honest.
I mean,
that wasn't the ending I wanted.
By the end of it, I was rooting. They got me invested. So by the end of it, I was actually, when he threw Seth over and I did a kind of,
I'm glad Randy didn't win 100%. That would have been awful.
I think back to Skillet's point about the Royal Rumble building stars. I think it still does. I think their luxury now is that they've got two. So where in the Women's Rumble, they've given it to a new star or upcoming star in Bianca Belair. We don't necessarily have to do that twice now with the men's. Right. You know what I mean? Point. So I think that's maybe where they, like last year, they done it with Drew. They built a new star ultimately. but then they gave the other one to Charlotte, who is an already, you know, an established person sort of thing.
Plus, like I say, I think Edge is putting them over anyway, so they kind of are building the new star.
Yeah.
All right, we'll quickly do a quick rundown.
I think Edge is going to win, but we'll talk about that.
Who's gonna win?
I think Edge will win at Mania.
Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I think he will. I don't think he'll hold the title for long, but I think he'll win it. I think he'll get it back. His whole thing was like, I had to let go of my title before I'm coming to get it back. Like the story's gonna be that. Like I had to let it go before. I never really lost my title. He's gonna be like that. It's gonna be one of them kind of storylines.
Have you noticed, Ace? Have you ever watched The Trick with Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon? They talk about the way Richard Gere acts, and you can tell Edge has had acting lessons because he does this thing in that interview. He's laying there in the ring, and he does that thing, and they tell you in acting, you've got to look up, have the memory, be sad about it, and then think, no, actually, it was okay. So in every he does that. He looks up and then like, I remember when my mum died, and then he looks sad, and then he looks down, and then he smiles.
I'm not going to be able to not notice that. I'm going to notice that every time now.
Next time he does it, he'll go up to the left, look sad, look down to the right, look happy, look at the camera, say what he has to say. Every single time.
He's been acting in the meantime, though, while he's been away. So, yeah, that's not even far-fetched.
He's very good in Vikings, to be fair, yes.
Should we do predictions for Mania then? Like what the matches will be?
No, not yet. That's too early.
No, because we got a long way to go and we've got things that have happened. Like, does Bianca Belair choose Sasha or Asuka?
It has to be Bianca and Sasha. Has to.
Why?
Yeah.
That's money.
That's money. Exactly.
That's going to be such an entertaining program. Those two women, very similar.
Asuka's not going to have the title by WrestleMania.
You don't think so?
Nah, she's losing that fast lane to make maybe Charlotte Lacey Evans. Charlotte Lacey Evans for that title. And then I was thinking, Drew, Sheamus, Roman Edge, Bryan Seth, and I guess Goldberg versus Miz and Morrison or something weird like that.
Ace, if you saw Asuka's promo on Raw,
I saw it, man. It was
I felt my heart broke for her, man. It's like
Charlotte tried to save her though.
Hey, wait,
Charlotte tried to save her.
You know the best part of it? It was Charlotte's dad and that woman.
Yeah.
As if she doesn't work there or something.
It was because of Charlotte's dad and that woman, right? And she's like, Charlotte's like, yeah, you're not wrong. Jesus.
I'll be ready this time.
But
Raw
was decent. Drew McIntyre, humble McIntyre as always, trying to come out. Edge buries him for being too nice, saying I'm a target. You should be more worried. Then Sheamus finally turns on Drew.
I enjoy really Irish Sheamus. You know, the hat and the things, the suspenders and stuff. I kind of enjoy that, yeah.
Really Irish Sheamus.
Bad Bunny shows up again, does a Miz talk promo. I don't know. Her Lucha House Party had a good match with Hurt Business. That was a good match.
Yeah.
I didn't like the whole Alexa. I'm done with this whole Fiend stuff.
Hate it.
I'm done with it, man.
I like the
Fiend. For me. It's not working.
Are you enjoying Alexa Bliss?
No, none of it.
I think she's a terrific actor with what they're giving her. Yeah. I think she's selling it very well. They do need to kind of move the story along now with what's happening, but she's doing like everyone that works for WWE. They're doing the best with what they're given. So
I'm done.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the outfit changes in between during the middle of matches. I'm not angry at that. I mean, I saw the Undertaker wake up from the dead bear times, and I thought it was great.
I never liked that either.
His ways.
But Raw wasn't bad though. I don't think Raw was bad at all.
What do we think of Bobby Lashley? He obviously had that newfound aggression over Matt Riddle.
Oh yeah.
I think they're preparing him for Brock Lesnar.
I think so too.
With this madness that he's kind of going through, because he even looked like he was about to beat up MVP.
Did you? Sorry, I keep referring back to it, but massive shout out to Cheap Heat. Bobby Lashley was on Cheap Heat last week, and he said like he feels that people are trying to keep them to away. He said he's only had. He said he's had 3 conversations with Brock Lesnar ever in life, and he's only ever been with him for like 5 minutes at a time. Like they don't know each other. They're not friends, and he feels like people have gone out of their way to keep them apart for some strange reason. So
do you know
I don't know if that was a work. It might have been a work.
Do you know what also is great about that match? You know, with Brock, the good thing about Brock Lesnar is when you're watching it, you're like, is he really sticking to a storyline, or is he just picking people up and throwing them? With Bobby Lashley, you kind of get that feeling as well. So it'd be two very, what are they? You know, you could see one of them just deciding to throw the other one for it. Yeah, so it would. I would be very. But are they going to do it?
If they're not preparing for it, if they're not preparing for that match, then they must be getting him ready for a WWE Championship match against Drew McIntyre, seeing as Edge is going to go over to the other show like we all predict. So, yeah, it's one or the other, but it's two good outcomes right now anyway. So
it looks impressive on a billboard, doesn't it? McIntyre versus Lashley, that looks impressive.
And let's not forget, they had a great match last year.
Yeah.
McIntyre and Lashley had a fantastic match. That was one of the best matches Drew had.
Is it WrestleMania though?
Yeah. I don't see why.
No, Bobby Lashley is Drew McIntyre Lashley. I don't know if that's.
It doesn't. So I don't think it has the main event, because I personally think they should give Sasha Bianca Belair the main event of the first night, and then Edge Roman the main event of the second night. Mm-hmm. So the WWE Championship can be halfway through either one of those shows.
Agreed.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yokozuna documentary. Has anybody seen it?
Kid. Sorry, I got excited.
It's brilliant, bro.
It's so good. Go watch that, man.
So fucking good. And I'm glad really Yokozuna has a documentary made on it. There's always certain wrestlers that myself and my brother Andrea, shouts to K-Night, will always like, why this guy hasn't got a documentary? Why haven't they done a documentary on, you know? And Yokozuna is one of the names we always mention. So yeah, it's good to see. But it looks like from the title sequence, it's a series called Icons. So it looks like it's a 4-part series. Episode 1 was on Yokozuna. From the title sequence, it looks like they're going to do one on RVD, one on Beth Phoenix.
She's next week.
And one on the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Wow.
So it looks amazing. If they address some of the Dynamite Kid stuff on there, I personally would have done Dynamite Kid, but if Bulldog is good enough for me as well. So if they have some Dynamite Kid stuff on there, I'm going to be so happy. But a great series. It seems like they're very influenced by the dark side wrestling.
The dark side of the ring.
Yeah, it's like, even though WWE always make great documentaries, and they've never really lied on their documentaries, they have kind of misled things in their favor, where I'm a wrestling enthusiast, so I know, no, that's not how it went down. But at least with this, it seems like the dark side of the ring has influenced them to kind of be a bit more
open.
Yeah. We weren't really there for Yoko when he needed help. We just told him to lose weight, and that was it.
They definitely needed help.
I remember meeting. I met at Royal Albert Hall. I was at one of those kids waiting at the back door and stuff like that, and he came out, Yokozuna. And to be fair, he was like, "Yeah, what a kid." But dude had like a bag of takeaways, like you know those silver containers. Yeah. He had like a bag and maybe 6 takeaway oil containers. And obviously, don't think anything at the time. You're like, fucking hell, he's got 6 takeaways, brilliant and stuff out. But in retrospect, you're like, oh. But nice guy, because he could have Brody lead me and just told me to do one.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but there's a story where they said that like he went home, they sent him home. How long did they say? They sent him home for like 6 months to lose like 60 pounds or something like that.
He put weight on.
And he come back bigger. Yeah, it's quite sad, but he was an amazing talent, man.
Oh man, what a worker.
What amazing talent, man.
Outstanding. As a wrestler, he was incredible.
There you go. There's a question for all of you. Is there a wrestler, other than maybe Lesnar, who just their stuff looks so legit? The Yokozuna's stuff looked legit, like it would kill you, wouldn't it?
His leg drops were insane. Yeah. There's so many though. There's so many wrestlers that just look legit, that are like that strong style, that just look like they really beat you up for real. There's so many.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to log off now. This has been awesome.
What a great episode. Hey, Mekz, man, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all.
Good to meet you, brother. Good to meet you.
Here.
You are now officially part of the Kickout family. So we're going to be, I'm going to add you onto the group chat, the WhatsApp chat, and we will do this again next week, I guess.
Of course. No problem.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll be back next. No, we're back. When we come back, Saturday, Sunday?
Oh, yeah, before we sign up, I think we should all go around and give our social medias, because we're getting a bit more of a following now again. So let's, some people might want to know our stuff personally. So let's go with Tay first. Tay, where can they find you on the social media?
Coco_Trey Tay, that's TRAETAE.
Neil for where?
On Instagram.
Same on Instagram, yeah, Tay?
Huh?
Same on Instagram as well, yeah?
Yeah. That's it. I'm on Instagram, that's all.
And Neil Llewellyn.
I am not on social media, so just buy me a pint when the pubs are open and watch Mekz on WrestleManiac UK.
There you go.
That's my guy.
Mekz, where can they find you, brother?
Like Neil said, Wrestlemaniac UK. That's where I'm trying to put out stuff daily for the people. So, yeah.
Ace.
At DJ Ace on everything. That's
And
it.
Skillit World and everything. SKILLIT World. Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Love you guys.
Peace!